We did it. Voila. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Twice. This is Spook, and this is also Alan Wake. Figure we would catch viewers up on the story because it came out 12 years ago and it's confusing and nobody played it. So, audio, no, good to that. Yeah, it's fine. Subtitles enabled. Video commentary. As fun as that would be, that's just too many people talking. Full screen off. Yeah, that seems fine. Alright, let's do it. I'm only allowed to click normal.
Stephen King once wrote that nightmares exist outside of logic, and there's little fun to be had in explanations. They're antithetical to the poetry of fear. In a horror story, the victim keeps asking why, but there can be no explanation, and there shouldn't be one. The unanswered mystery is what stays with us the longest, and it's what we'll remember in the end. My name is Alan Wake. I'm a writer.
I hope you're ready for some extra cheesy, extra pretentious
I've always
dialogue.
had a vivid imagination.
I sure
But this
am.
dream unsettled me. It was wild and dark and weird, even by my standards. So yes, it began with a dream.
The in-game ads
Following
are
a
great.
typical
Yeah, the
nightmare,
Energizer, the
I was
car
late,
commercial.
desperately trying to reach my destination, a lighthouse. For some urgent reason, I couldn't remember. I'd been driving too fast down a coastal road to get there. I'd seen the hitchhiker too late.
I'm not sure he's a hitchhiker if he's in the middle of the road in a tunnel. Well,
He was dead.
yep.
I was convinced they'd put me in jail and I would never see Alice again.
See, this is how you find yourself in I Know What You Did Last Summer. He was gone.
Suddenly, his body was gone.
They even structure it like a TV
I was
show.
in shock from the
Oh,
crash.
God.
I could hardly stand my feet.
They throw like 4 or 5 different types of hello. That is the sensitivity on that is wowzers. How's that? That's reverse my controls. No, please. All right, that's better. So yeah, Alan Wake. It's a story about a writer who finds himself in his own fiction.
I had to go to the lighthouse. I knew there was something important waiting
That's
for me there.
that little jingle has been my like your laptop is booted up jingle for like a
The
decade
bridge had
plus.
collapsed. I'd have to find another way to the lighthouse.
Also, they have collectibles, just thermoses. There's 100 of them. No, I have no idea what the point of them is, but they exist. Oh my
You don't
goodness.
even recognize me, do you, Ryder? You think you're God? You think you can just make up stuff? Play with people's lives and kill them when you think it adds to the drama? You're in this story now, and I'll make you suffer.
No, thank you.
There would be a single legal sentence in your books if it wasn't for your murder. You'll never publish another one of your shitty stories, 'cause I'm gonna kill you. It's
Okay.
not like your stories are any good.
Let's just listen to him for a while.
You're a lousy writer. Cheap thrills and pretentious shit. That's all you're good for. Just look at me. Look at your work.
Bye-bye. Fun fact, well, that's Thomas Zane. We'll get into him later. We're missing. I don't know what the QR code is for. Oh, right. Yes, fun fact, my friend couldn't get through the tutorial. She had to turn it off. I don't have a really good reason as for why. She's just not a fan of horror games. Successful dodges are sometimes highlighted with a cinematic moment. They did go a little overboard with the cinematic moment dodges. Set in the Control universe? It is indeed. Technically, this takes place... This would be the first one in the timeline, so to speak. You could even go further back because... So, Wake... And they'll probably talk about this right after the start of the actual game. I'm coming, generic man in a varsity jacket. No, I do not. Left of
Oh no! Stop! No! Damn it, die! No! No! No!
that man had 2 bullets left.
Trapped. There was no way out.
This is about the time she decided to call it quits on the game. Tom the Poet, Thomas Zane.
Was a death trap. I had to get out.
I'd say follow the light. But I gotta wait to get rammed a few more times.
Follow the light. You are hurt. You should go into the light. You are only safe there.
Right, yeah. Light heals. And saves, I think?
Well done. I have something important to tell you. It goes like this. For he did not know that beyond the lake he called home lies a deeper, darker ocean green, where waves are both wilder and more serene. To its ports I beam. To its ports I beam. Do you understand? No.
No, I don't. What do legumes have to do about this? I've heard people complain about Alan Wake before and how, like, they're like, it's not this high art thing, and I'm like, well, yeah, I know.
I can only show you the most important thing.
The writer is a writer of, like,
You can't hurt him.
that's
now.
a lot of
The
ammo.
darkness protects him from all harm. Only light can drive the darkness away and make him vulnerable.
He writes generic crime stories. He's like John Grisham. You know, it's not like this
Flashlight toward him and burn the darkness away.
this high art. Oh, battery gonna run out. Ooh.
You did it. Now the darkness no longer protects him, but it's still inside, controlling him.
Here, a
Can't
gun
be saved.
from God.
He's still a threat. He is still your enemy. Here, take the gun.
Now you'll die.
Good. You've done well. Remember what I've taught you. That is all. I will give you back your dream now.
Okay, thanks, Tom. Nice
In
guy.
the nightmare, a terrible darkness was taking over the world. The lighthouse was the last safe place on Earth.
I think the most realistic thing in this game is, oh. Down he goes. Sprinting, he sprints for about 10 seconds, fairly slowly. We'll get there. We gotta charge it back up. It's like 10 seconds, he's like, I'm all out of breath. Like, truly, and I mean truly, a writer. Oh, I can just... Got it. Alright.
Just like
Oh my god, it's the same exact model, copied 3 times. So anyways, light is safety in this game. Very, like old school thoughts of just leaving the light on at bedtime.
I can keep this up forever.
But I think they use it really well. I'm hoping they do... One second. Is there a thermos in the back of this van? No, there's not. Okay. They leave these in the worst places, so... if we collect half of them, I would be shocked. See? Right there. I know you're getting chased by a dark tornado, but get that thermos. But yeah, definitely set in the Control universe. In Control, which we streamed a long time ago. There's a Federal Bureau of Control that investigates altered world events. Phenomena that can't be explained in mundane ways. And they contain it, research it, or otherwise... you know, do whatever.
Baby, just another nightmare. Everything
This
is fine.
event in Bright
Dozed
Falls
off.
is
Right.
one of
Anything
the
more than dozed
altered
off would be
world
good for
events.
everyone.
The AWE.
Cheer up, handsome. We're here.
And at the end of the DLC, there was a second altered world event being found in Bright Falls in the future. The future being 2025 or something, which is where Alan Wake 2 is going to be set. 10 years from the initial setting, I believe. Obviously, Bright Falls has a lot in common with other idyllic Pacific Northwest settings. Twin Peaks is like the bludgeon you over your head setting comparison. You might ask, why is there a Welcome to Bright Falls sign on the tracks? No one will see that, but,
Let's act like we're on vacation.
you know,
Go stand next to that old gentleman there.
Don't
I want
worry
a shot
about
of
it.
you with the town in the background.
Sure. I'll even give you a title for the shot. A city boy, moments before he got eaten by a bear. Hi.
Hello there. You picked a good time to visit our town. Deerfest is just 2 weeks away.
Deerfest, huh? Did you hear that, honey?
Interestingly enough,
You have a lovely wife. If you don't mind me
Deer
saying.
Fests.
I'm Matt Maine, by the way. Nice to meet you.
In Alan Wake 2, it looks like the
Alan
cult
Wake.
that they're investigating is like
pretend I
all
don't
obsessed with
recognize
deer.
a famous writer such as yourself, Mr. Wake. A pleasure. I'm an avid reader myself. I hope this isn't too presumptuous of me, but I'm the night host at the local radio station. Any chance I could get an interview?
Look, Mr. Maine, I'm on vacation. In fact, I'd appreciate it if we could keep my being here just between the two of us. I'm sure you understand.
Fair enough. You can trust me to be discreet. Not a hard man to track down if you change your mind, though. I hope you two have a lovely holiday.
But yeah, I don't get the people that complain about how schlocky it is. It's supposed to be. It's the story being written on the fly by a man who's
Very
like
nice. I got a couple of really good ones.
trapped
So you made a friend.
in this
That's cute.
Right.
cycle of just writing
How's my favorite writer? Are you there yet?
Barry.
like very popular crime novels.
Giving you trouble? Just say the word and I'll hop on a plane and come make sure that you're left alone.
It's
Al.
like struggling
Barry,
to
we're fine.
write anything else.
Great. Just want to make sure you can relax and recharge.
Has the last
So,
laugh.
how is the place? Has it gotten your creative juices flowing?
Barry, we're just settling in.
Okay, Al. I'll call back later to make sure you're doing okay. And you call me if there's a problem, okay? Okay. I'm just looking out for you, buddy. Talk to you later.
I love you too, Barry.
I love you too, Barry. Barry's
You
the
know
best
he's going to be
character.
calling you every 5 minutes.
Barry is Barry. I can always turn off the phone.
What did I tell you?
Text message from Barry. He says hi to you too.
Alan, we're here. Come on, let's get back to the car.
Okay. In we go.
We need to stop at the local diner to get the cabin key from the landlord, a Mr. Carl Stuckey. He's waiting for us. I'll go fill her up while you get
The
key.
product placement is
I'll
pretty
meet you over there
blatant,
in,
isn't
say,
it?
15 minutes?
Sure.
Publisher had Danny DeVito character energy. True.
Alan, thank you for
And I
coming
loved
in.
him dearly.
I love you too. Go on. I'll promise to behave.
I love this diner scene. It introduces almost every
I've forgotten there were still
main
places like this.
character in the
Towns
game.
where everybody knew everybody.
Welcome to the Oh Dear Diner.
Hi, I was wondering if you could help me. I'm looking for...
Mr. Wake. Alan Wake. Oh, God! I am your biggest fan. I know people say that all the time, but I really am.
I'm glad to hear that.
Rose.
Rose, I'm looking for Mr. Stuckey. Carl Stuckey?
Carl? Of course, Mr. Wake. He must have gone to visit the restroom. He'll be back in a moment. I can't believe it. I've got all your books. I got the cutout from the bookstore when they took it out of the window.
And you keep it here. Well, okay. Good for you.
got this guy.
Try the coffee. Just don't blame me when you fall in love, 'cause it'll break your heart when you have to leave.
Rusty here is no longer human. Nothing but black coffee under a thin layer of skin.
Sounds horrific.
Yeah, that makes two of us.
These two
Do me a
old
favor,
gods of Asgard.
Sonny. I could really use a tune right now. Coconut, number 6 in the juke.
Honestly, maybe these guys are my
I'd
favorite
do it
character.
myself, but both of my legs have gone to sleep. Bad circulation. Yeah.
Are you serious? Coconut again? You disgust me. Call yourself a rocker. Unbelievable. Ha!
You put the lime in the coconut. Drink them both up.
Just because we're brothers, don't think I won't
It
murder
does
you
that.
in your
Get
sleep.
stuck. Yeah, you need to give it a good solid whack. Yes, that's my favorite tune. Coconut. Now that's what I'm talking about. Yes.
They're a little.
This is it. I've died and gone.
They're a little
to
out
hell.
there. But there's good reason for it that I won't reveal for now.
go in there, young man. You can hurt yourself in the dark.
I think I can handle it, ma'am. I didn't want to wait. I wanted to find
You
Stucky,
don't wanna die,
to get the
do
key
you?
and get out as soon as
Worse.
possible. The waitress was giving me a headache.
That he
Overeager
didn't
fans
listen.
always did.
I told Rose last week that she should change the bulb. This is what happens when you get sloppy.
Are you done pooping in there? I really need to get a key from you.
Mr. Stucky?
Carl couldn't make it. Unfortunately, he was taken ill. But I have the key for you and instructions on how to get to the lake.
Okay.
I wish you a good stay in my cabin. I'll come by later to check how you've settled in. And to meet your wife. I insist.
Thanks.
She doesn't look nearly as bad in this lighting.
Cauldron Lake is a special place. Very inspiring.
Still creepy, but not... I mean, still creepy. Cauldron Lake is a very special place, though.
You got lucky this time, young man. You can hurt yourself in the dark. This really ought to be thick.
Even that sounds better than your singing.
Are you alright?
Splendid, splendid! Damn hernia. It swells up like a balloon if I lift anything heavier than a spoon. Yeah, splendid, splendid. It's been a long time, Tom. Good to see you.
Hey, you wouldn't happen to have a bottle on you, would you, Tom?
I wish.
So, interestingly enough, well, let's get through the dialogue here.
They're local musicians. We're waiting for Dr. Hartman to come pick them up. They wandered off from his clinic at the Cauldron Lake Lodge.
Bye, Mr. Wake.
Mission accomplished. The key and the directions.
My hero. I got some flashlights, just in case.
Oh, right. For maximum dramatic irony.
Hey, wait! Mrs. Wake! Your keys!
He looks confused. Looks
That
like
diner was a real nut house.
for maximum dramatic irony, his wife is afraid of the dark. Like,
Can you
terrified.
believe this place? This would make
Not
a
the
really
best
good
place to
for-
be
We're
for
supposed
that.
to be on vacation, Alice. I'll figure
Not-
it out when we get back home.
Not the best place to
Okay?
be.
Okay, we can talk about this later.
Batman here on PBFF.
I didn't want to talk about it. I wanted to bury my head in sand.
Here's another one of my favorites to go with it.
Once upon a time, I was a successful writer, but that was a long time ago. I hadn't been able to write a word in 2 years, not since my last book.
And now the weather. It's gonna be a clear night, so you folks in the big city might want to look up every once in a while, see those stars winking down at you. It gets pretty dark out here, but they'll light your way.
So you may have noticed, well, Diver's Isle, interesting, but
It's gorgeous, Alan.
It's something, all right.
it's
Don't
something.
worry, honey. I'll get you inside safe and sound before it gets dark. And I've got the flashlight.
I know. I'm okay.
Alice had a phobia, the fear of darkness. I wanted to make sure we were inside with the lights on before sunset.
Okay, I'm pretty certain that you walk all the way up here and there's a thermos. What was I saying? You can even do it when it's like way scarier. Anyways, you might notice that they called Alan Tom for Thomas Zane, who was a local poet back here in the 70s. Did they mistake him for that? That's a great question that we'll explore more later. Ah. Ah ha ha ha.
The cabin obviously got its name from the shape of the island. It looked like a giant bird leg. Alice had mentioned that the lake was a caldera. There was a dormant volcano under it.
Thomasine, to me, is like still unexplored, and he gets explored a lot in this game. But local artists congregate around this place for one reason or another. For us, it's just to get away. Thanks for waiting 5 minutes while I walk all the way back up to grab my thermos. Really appreciate it. One of my favorite things about the game is how focused it is on just varying the types of media that the story is presented by. You have the novelist who's finding himself in his own book. You have these weird TV shows that both show up like in-game and also kind of presented as a TV show out of game. You know, they have episodes, not chapters, it's episodes. You know, you cross paths with the radio instructor sorts. You've got the musicians, the poets.
Okay, I'll look around a bit.
Sure thing. Have fun.
Oh, well, we looked around. Good for us.
It was a beautiful place. I told myself I could rest here, sleep here, and forget about my work. I thought we could be happy here. Alice had told me about Cauldron Lake Lodge. The old building used to be a hotel, but these days it was no longer open to the public.
That's run by Dr. Emil Hartman, who is a therapist that specializes in the treatment of artists. He's actually part of the Alan Wake expansion of Control. For reasons, I'm gonna try to not spoil any plot points. I'm just gonna, we'll discuss the things as they get unveiled, you know?
Alice? Honey?
The old door had played a trick on me. Alice wouldn't have come out in the dark.
The Deerfest guests have already started to arrive. Just ran into one on the ferry. A famous artist, no less. We'll see if we can rope him into an interview later.
Immediately, the radio host starts almost name-dropping Alan Wake.
It's Rose.
Why, hello, Rose. What's on your mind?
I know who that famous artist was. It was Alan Wake, wasn't it? He's my favorite writer.
Well, Rose, I
just saw him at the diner. Oh, I am so excited he's here.
I'm sure he's glad to be here, too. Well, folks, I guess the secret's out. This is Pat Maine on KBFFM. Now some music.
Great. So much for keeping a low profile.
Thermos, why are there so many thermoses here? Why? I wonder if they'll be back in the sequel.
Alan, I'm upstairs.
It's already like
I have a surprise for you.
not it's nonsensical.
Well, hello there.
I'm not the surprise. It's in the study. Go take a look.
This man's
Okay.
about to have a severe mood swing.
Surprise!
Alice? What is this?
Typewriter.
I guess I have a small confession to make. I thought maybe you could write here that a change of scenery would get you past...
Damn it, Alice! Everyone keeps...
Hey! Just hear me out! There's a local doctor, Dr. Hartman. I read a book of his. He has a private clinic here. He specializes in helping artists.
See, I
now
accidentally
you wanna get
spoiled
me
the plot
committed?
point there,
No,
too.
it's not like that. That's not...
don't! Just don't! I don't want to hear it! God damn it, Alice! God damn it! I knew she wouldn't follow me in the dark. I needed some time alone to think things through.
And fall over. Believe it or not, just his average stamina. He was all out.
Damn it. Alice? Alice? Alice!
See, now if you really wanted to be funny, you go get the thermos now. You can definitely do that. That is allowed. Kind of robs you of the narrative tension. But hey, it's possible.
What the hell?
What in tarnation?
Alice? Alice? Oh no!
Full like wool cardigan too. Oof.
Keep going.
Wake up.
Alice?
Is Alice definitely not in Wonderland? True. You might be confused.
Waking up in the crashed car felt
That's
like I
okay.
had woken from one nightmare and entered another.
It'll be explained.
I couldn't remember how I got there. All I knew
Mostly.
was that something terrible had happened to Alice.
You know, if you're taking some inspiration from
The
Twin
phone
Peaks,
was
not
dead.
everything
I'd have
needs
to
to
find
make
help on
sense.
foot.
This does, though. Gosh, what a terrible crash. Is there...
Among Alice's things was a book, The Creator's Dilemma, by a Dr. Emil Hartman. Seeing the book brought back my fight with Alice. I didn't like it, and I didn't like the guy's smug face on the cover either.
One of the things I thought Control did really well, if we're talking about like the integration
It looked like a long hike through the forest to get there.
of media, was they started doing like live action bits. They do them a little bit in this, but Control really kind of kicked it off. It just adds another kind of layer of surrealness to it. And I really like it.
Hello? Is someone there? The loose sheets of paper were pages from a manuscript entitled Departure. That was the name I planned to use for the next novel I had never gotten started. I was named the author. I hadn't written it. I couldn't remember writing it. In the scene on the page, the hero was attacked by an axe murderer in the woods at night. Departure by Alan Wake.
Yes, correct.
The man turned to face me. His face was covered in shadows. It was hard to make him out in the darkness of the forest that surrounded us, but the axe he lifted was plain to see. It glistened with the blood of his victim. He grinned madly. The shadows were alive, distorting his features. It was a scene from a nightmare, but I was awake.
He is awake. Alright, identity confirmed. Awake. Truth. And yes, the thermoses can be just like hidden anywhere in this place. We're not going to go absolutely crazy searching for them.
Anybody there? Please, I've been in an accident.
This was my first like true horror game I played, and it's not even a true horror game. It's more of a thriller, though I hear the second one is gonna lean heavier into it. But I've grown. I'm stronger, braver. We can do it.
The lights up ahead were a good sign. Maybe I wouldn't have to hike all the way down to the gas station to find a phone.
But it was at least my first introduction into the genre. I really don't like the Takens or whatever you want to call the possessed. Their voice, just it's so unnatural. Oof.
Hey, you! Phil! There's been an accident. I need help. Listen, I need to...
Premium cabins for rent in...
Oh, hell.
Carl Stuckey. Pleased to meet you. Non-refundable reservation deposit required. Fair and square.
Like they're just puppeted. Like the presence doesn't know how to act human, so he's just getting repeated, just like a line of a doll. You just pull it, random words come out.
The Taken stood before me. It was impossible to focus on it,
What's
as
the
if it
Taken?
stood in a blind
Okay.
spot caused by a brain tumor and eye disease. It was bleeding shadows like ink underwater, like a cloud of blood from a shark bite. I was terrified. I squeezed the flashlight like my life depended on it, willing it to stop coming any closer. Suddenly something gave, and the light seemed to shine brighter.
Important thermos. Very important. Good work. Very proud of us. No, thank you. No thanks. Shining ones, you know.
I had to figure a way
Isn't the
out of
presence
this.
an entity,
Any
as they
second
call it
now,
in
and
Control?
Stuckey would be
Yeah.
knocking on the door with his axe like Nicholson in The Shining.
No, he even didn't. Got it. The Energizer placement. Oh man, they got jobbed with that. Think they'll still be in the second one? I hope so.
I wasn't about to open the door,
I mean, they-
as long as I was liable to catch an axe with my forehead.
They needed funding, but
Incontestably proven health benefits let you choose.
Yes.
One
Bright Falls Sheriff Station. Homie,
Hello? Hello?
cholesterol levels down.
This is bad.
needs to be a Duracell this time. Oh, now that would be something, wouldn't it? Wait, where did it? Did it go down there with him? Wow. Who knew? Don't like it. It's not really a heavy aimer. Just a resource management
I never fired a gun outside a shooting range, and
thing.
now I just killed someone or something.
Eh.
There were no bodies; they just disappeared. If I was dreaming, it felt real enough to make me sick. Eerie hand-painted graffiti was revealed by my flashlight.
So
Someone had hidden a
interestingly,
chest of supplies near it.
also, that deep breathing usually is only when you're on the trail of something like that. Like, it'll go away as we move farther away from it. I don't have a lore reason for it, but it spooks me. It spooks me every time.
The Dark Forest was the last place I wanted to go, but I had no choice. I had to get to the gas station.
It's rabbit season.
God, Elmer, Fudd, get out of here! Right. Some pages only...
Gushing, but right now, she didn't care. As far as she was concerned, her brief meeting with Alan Wake was literally the high
You need to
point
play a
of
second
life.
time in Nightmare Mode to get,
She
like,
watched
extra
as he got in the
pages.
car with his wife. She was pretty, confident, at ease with Wake. Not like Rose. They were perfect for each other. She'd have given anything to be called their friend.
A little pretentious of you. Presumptuous.
What the hell was that?
Good question.
When I saw the river below, something uncoiled itself inside my head. I realized that I'd have to find a way across. I didn't even want to look at the water.
Me neither, but then I saw the shiny thermos. Look at that. Wow. It does nothing. Absolute zero. Why is it like this? I couldn't tell you. It just is.
Barry Wheeler was bouncing off
They
the
did
walls.
need a thermos
He jumped
sponsor.
on a
It's
plane
true.
after his calls were ignored by both Al and Alice for several days. It could mean that they were both on a second honeymoon, but Barry didn't buy it. Al had been way too unstable for that. Not sleeping, messed up. Barry had years of experience dealing with Alan Wake, and he couldn't ignore it. Something was wrong.
Guys, I think Barry's in town. Just a hunch.
Stucky was still out there, in the dark, stalking me.
I forgot how quick you can turn around with this. Actually, the battery sound, the battery reload or whatever, that's my, like, you've inserted a USB port in my laptop. Please jump. Please, 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 thank you. Okay. See, the breathing comes back. Which, honestly, I feel like it's supposed to be comforting. It's really just unnerving. Like, extremely unnerving. I do not like it. It was definitely one of the creepier things in the game. The Taken are filled with darkness. Don't let Liam Neeson know, though. He has a pine sap allergy and his lungs are suffering. Then he can keep it down.
The staircase was broken. I had to make my way up some other way.
Oh, come on, dude. How... That cannot be that high.
I couldn't stay here. There had to be a way to get up there.
I mean, I'm just saying, I think you should be able to do that, Alan. Some learned helplessness, if I've ever seen it. Oh, is there a little more? Cool. Full ammo. Oh my goodness, can you believe it? Yet another thermos. I sure can't. What luck. Stop reloading one at a time, you son of a bitch. Your cam is desynced for my audio? Let's do a little oopsie doopsie and see how that goes. It hasn't always been that way, has it? Today? It's fine now.
With all this forestry equipment around, there had to be something I could use to reach
There are
the
worse
top.
things. But still, yeah. Alright. Is this where we get our first fun TV show? No, that's a shame. Do get a shotgun. It's doing it again now? Why?
I heard them before I saw them.
I don't
swooping
know.
down from the sky and screeching as they came. I spun around just as the cloud was upon me. For an instant, I stared into 100 dead eyes, black pearls glittering in the darkness. I raised the flashlight and the swarm exploded like fireworks. Feathers burned, turned into ash. I couldn't hear my scream above theirs.
It's gotta be something with Alan, right? I don't know. Might just be something I look into later. Because it didn't start till after we started Wake, and Alan Wake is old game. Oh god. I guess not that old, but I could definitely see us having some issues because of it. That's fine. For all I know, it might be like a Twitch thing. Might just be weird connections. I don't know.
Well, I was just outside for a breath of fresh air, and what a night. I know most of you are probably in your beds by now, but if you're still up and around, take 'em home. Step outside for a spell and breathe in deep. The weather is absolutely still. The sky is crystal clear. It's like the forest is quietly breathing along with you.
Sounds terrible.
Listeners know I'm a night owl, and it's on nights like this I wish I wasn't cooped up in the studio. Makes an old man like me wish I could just roam wild. But here I am, and who'd keep you company all night long if I weren't? It looks like I'm not the only one staying up late. Caller, you're on the air.
Hey, Pat, it's Maurice Horton.
Hello, Maurice. What are you up to?
Well, I was just taking Toby on his walkies.
Oh, isn't it beautiful out there?
Sure, but Pat, the reason I called is that Toby heard something rustling in the undergrowth and took off after it, and I couldn't find it.
Probably a rabbit.
Sure. Toby loves rabbits.
Well, sure.
Anyway, I figured that, if anyone runs into Toby, they could grab him. My number's on his collar.
And Toby's a friendly dog?
Toby loves people. Usually he comes back, but we were pretty far from home, and it sounds like he went pretty wild there. Great dog, but he was just too dumb for his own good.
That's the best kind of dog.
Maurice, it's out there now. Hope Toby comes home soon.
Yeah, thanks, Pat.
You have a good night now.
Like, does it make logical
First, I kept
sense
finding the pages
to
every
listen
time
to
I
these
opened.
TV
The
shows
book I
and
couldn't remember was
radio
either a
shows?
terrible and
Not
true
particularly,
prophecy or
but
an
it is
act of
fun.
creation that had rewritten the world. I began to hunt the pages feverishly, for they held the answer to the mystery. With it, I could save myself. With it, I could save Alice. The gas station was closer now, its light welcoming in the darkness.
The thermos was also closer.
Belly Burster is the best with no crumbs. Monster Dog is second best. The famous dog is...
It's fixed itself, whatever it was. Alright, well. Stressful generator. There we go. Things go away in the light. And I mean, they legitimately disappear. There's gonna be more than one stressful generator roll. See, like, this whole spawning in thing and, like, ambient weather makes me feel like they could do so much with, like, a... Hello? Like an encounter design. Where it, like, ratchets up the tension, brings down the tension. They did a few things.
I stepped into the gas station's garage. It was dark and quiet. The place was a mess. It looked like someone trashed the place, or that there'd been some kind of fight. Light spilled into the room through an open door at the back, and I made my way toward it. Without any warning, I was blinded by a bright light. An old portable TV on the shelf had come alive by itself. Impossibly, I could see myself on the screen, talking like a madman.
Because they do some tricky things in this game that are designed exclusively just to creep you out. There's a few later on that I'll hopefully find and point out. Could have sold this easily as an offshoot to the Silent Hill series. I agree, and I need to play a Silent Hill game. I'd be excited for 2, but I'm not sure I trust the remake in the hands of Bloober Team, so I guess we'll see on what people think about it. See, they do little things like that. That's all designed. And it's small, but you know, It keeps you just a little bit on edge. See, I think in Alan Wake 2 they're not going to tell me that somebody's sneaking up on me, and I'm just going to poop my pants. That is a flare gun, and not what I actually wanted to use, but that's okay. I've certainly had worse uses. Yes, I will be listening to all of these pages that I can.
The sheriff looked at me suspiciously. The early morning light flooded through the office windows. I would probably never have gotten out of the woods alive without her help. But I couldn't tell her the truth of what I'd faced the previous night. She'd think I was lying or crazy. She'd lock me up, and she wouldn't help me find Alice.
This has got to be Night Springs, right? Let's watch a little Twilight Zone, shall we?
Einstein, Sagan, princes among men. But the price for such a legacy is steep indeed.
This will get more and more ridiculous as this game goes on, and it gets way more like drastic. And we're just kind of listening in and watching this, but I don't care.
It would take a courageous man to change the script. Having called a press conference, Dr. Barclay Colvin is about to demonstrate that very courage.
Ladies and gentlemen of the press, I am Dr. Barclay Colvin, and I'm glad so many of you could join me here at the Moorcock Institute. Tonight, I'm going to give a practical demonstration of the many worlds interpretation.
We're very serious around here.
As you can see, this is a loaded 9mm pistol. It shall be part of a thought experiment. And now, a real experiment, known as a quantum suicide.
Did he say suicide? Is that a real gun? He's kidding, right?
Please, please, stay calm. There is no risk. Observe what occurs when I place the weapon against my own forehead. Now, you might think this round is merely a dud. Not so. Observe the flower pot. And yet, I myself cannot be harmed with this gun. With each pull of the trigger, two new realities branch off. One in which the weapon didn't fire, and one where it did. With my machine here, I have ensured that this reality is always the former. I have bestowed upon myself quantum immortality. Under no circumstances can this gun kill me.
So wait. What you're saying is that every time you pull the trigger, in another reality, you die?
Yes, of course, but that's completely trivial. There's an infinite number of things that could happen at any moment, and they always do happen somewhere. The point is, this one thing did not happen here.
You're insane, Colvin.
Insane? Insane?
Hey, was this thing supposed to be plugged in? I stumbled on it.
You fools! Gaze upon quantum immortality.
Poor Dr. Colvin, felled by his own hubris or the ignorance of the masses. Perhaps he should have left the crate unopened, the decaying atom unobserved. Curiosity often kills the cat. In
Night Springs. Wow. I hope we all learned a good lesson about that, and that was that Twice forgot to press this button. Besides that, Hey, could you just stop that? It's spooky and I don't like it. Come on. Just hit me with it. Item limit reached.
As you might bet, it can be dangerous. It requires patience.
There's Stucky. One moment. One moment. Thank you. Take a walk through the logging area, meet one of the quirky locals.
Only a lifetime of nightmares to come, assuming I'd reach the lights of the gas station alive.
Assuming I reach the lights of the next thermos alive. We did it. We got all the thermoses, maybe. I don't know.
I recognized the parade float I had seen in Bright Falls when I first arrived with Alice.
Okay.
After the insanity I had just experienced in the darkness, the lights of the gas station felt comforting.
Is this 100% 100 thermos run?
Reasserted itself.
Nope, because I am not looking into that at all. This is I'm having fun playing a game that I loved run.
Stucky spat on the garage floor and tried to shake the cobwebs from his head. Ever since the couple never showed to pick up the keys, things had been fuzzy. Something, a feeling caught his attention. Stucky looked up and stared as his brain tried in vain to process the horror before him. He stumbled back, knocking over a can of oil. A black pool spread across the floor while he struggled for a brief moment, then let go as the unrelenting darkness engulfed him. I had to get inside the gas station to find a phone to call for help.
Yeah, I know. I'm just worried that you hit a thermos out in the middle of gosh darn nowhere. Nah, too spooked. Too spoopy.
The garage was a mess. It looked like someone had trashed the place, or that there'd been some kind of fight.
Yeah, this is Stucky's.
All right. I'll keep writing. Outside, there's only darkness. Outside the cabin, outside the story, there's only darkness. I can feel her presence in the dark. Just now, I could smell her perfume in the room. I'll reach her. I'll fix it up. I'll bring her back. The story will come true. If I stop, she's lost.
I don't believe this. It'd be me on the TV.
I love that they kept the live action actor for Alan Wake for 12 years, and he's aged as such. Let's read about the Deer Fest, guys. Pie contest, alright. For the children, there's Bucktooth Charlie and Montgomery's The Mystics Amazing Phantasmagoria. Wow. Exciting stuff. Is there a thermos I can steal like a criminal? There is not. Wow. Well, let's call the police. I'm sure they'll believe me.
Great Falls Sheriff Station.
The second one is as atmospheric. Oh yeah. I mean, there's a lot of expectations on it. I'm just excited to get another look in the
Sheriff Sarah Breaker. You are
in the
Alan Wake.
universe.
But listen, I was in a car crash. My wife Alice, she's
They
missing.
cliffhanged me 12 years ago.
In a cabin
Gosh
on
darn
the
it.
island, on Cauldron Lake.
There's no island on Cauldron Lake, not since the big eruption in the 70s.
Please, I can take you there, okay?
You look like you've taken a pretty bad knock to the head.
Here, sweetie. How was it?
Worst weather I've ever seen.
You should put some coffee on. It'll warm you up. Hey, handsome.
Real
This is gonna
pictures.
be a long night, but these shots are turning out great.
I guess you're gonna need that coffee then. I'll go put it
I'll
up.
put it in this thermos that I just found. Don't ask why there's a manuscript inside of a
It's true what they say about the fall and the sudden
flashback.
stop at the end. I'd lain here in the snow while the lurid chain of scenes that had led me here kept playing in my head. A rerun of my own private snuff movie. A memory of my corpse. Alone at my own wake. Thinking in metaphors again. The femme fatale was gone. Only a sour taste remained of the kiss that killed me. This was a late goodbye. 13 years after I'd gotten my revenge, it had finally caught up with me. It had been a long time to bear the pain. My blood painted the snow red.
Sorry. A gruesome slushy.
Dissolved all the scattered painkillers and leisurely dripped down to the the sewer mingling with the bottom of the city.
Nope, it's fine.
Becoming one with it.
Very serious.
I can see them now. My wife and my baby. Honey, I'm home.
So that was his last novel. He had decided to kill off his main character, Alex Casey. Because he was sick of writing about him. When that happened in The Sudden Stop. Hey, that's the jacket out there. It's not wool, it's like tweed, isn't it?
Coffee's on.
Tweed suit.
Thanks. I'll need it if I'm gonna finish this by tomorrow.
Oh, hey, I just finished those cover mock-ups. They're on your desk. Tell me what you think.
No kidding. I didn't think you'd get them done this quickly. These look really good.
Oh, sure, until Barry gets his hands on them. Which, by the way, will happen over my dead body. The last time was the last time. Oh, and speaking of Barry, he called.
Alan? Alan, please check the fuse box.
I'm right here. I'm on it, honey.
Please hurry!
Honey, it's a power outage. I've got the flashlight.
Okay, hi.
You okay?
I'm sorry. It just really spooked me.
Don't worry. We'll just break out the candles.
I don't know what she's been doing for the past 10 years.
I know, it's stupid, but it's just... Especially when I'm not prepared for it, you know?
How blind is she?
It
It's not
gets
even
to
dark
me.
outside. No, it's just like
Tell me a story.
a serious phobia.
Okay. I used to have these nightmares when I was a kid. The dark really spooked me, too. When it got really bad, my mom gave me this old light switch. She called it the clicker.
The clicker, huh?
Yeah. If I ever got scared of the dark, I could just flip the switch and a magic light would scare the monsters away.
Oh, sure.
Here it is.
Alan.
Maybe it'll help you, too.
Yeah, nice story, writer boy. You made that up right now, didn't you?
No. Seriously.
I love you, even if you are a liar. Thanks for this.
They're like, zoom out. We don't have the technology. Blur it too. It's terrible. We don't have the technology for kisses. Please, our mocap. It's really bad.
How do you
Censor
feel,
it
Mr.
all.
Wake? Any nausea, disorientation, anything like that? Mr. Wake, how are you feeling?
Great.
I'm okay. My head's fine. I had to lie about my headache and memory loss. He'd send me to a hospital for tests. I couldn't leave without Alice.
Very well. I don't think you have a concussion, but you've obviously been through quite a shock. You should take it easy for a couple of days.
Thanks.
Well then, Mr. Wake, we're done here. If the pain gets any worse or you experience any other symptoms, you should come see me. I'll let you get on with it then. Sarah, Sheriff Breaker, is waiting for you. She's very good at her job. I'm sure she can locate your wife in no time.
Doc Nelson was the image of a small-town doctor. Sheriff Breaker had called him to the station to take a look at the cut in my head.
And? She's back.
Thank you for testing the lights, Miss Weaver. Everything seems to be fine. I don't have the luxury.
That man won a contest. They were on a camping trip.
Have a nice day now.
Come in, Mr. Wake. Your phone's on the desk. The battery was dead. It's charged now.
Goodbye. I accidentally went here too early. Oh, okay. Well, we missed that dialogue. The lady who is obsessed with light was telling her that she should replace all of these
Mr. Wake,
all the time.
the sheriff is waiting for you in her office down the corridor.
And that she does it like once a month or something like
Your
that.
phone, Mr. Wake?
Yeah.
Have you started looking for my wife yet?
My men are already on it. Now, can you tell me what happened?
I'm not sure. I can't remember. We were arguing. I walked out of the cabin.
The cabin on Cauldron Lake?
How did you end up at Stucky's gas station?
I wanted to tell her what had happened last night, but I couldn't. She'd lock me up. Excuse me, I need to take this. Hello?
Alan, please help me.
Alice?
Stop talking to the law. You'll do exactly what I say if you ever want to see your wife again.
Who is this?
Go to the back lot. There's a hole in the fence on the left. Look inside the junker. I left a little something there to convince you we're all on the same page here. After you ditch the cops, you're gonna meet me in Elderwood National Park. There's a spot called Lover's Peak. Midnight. Don't do nothing stupid, pal.
Mr. Wake, can I help you with anything?
I need to get some air. The sheriff said I could go out back.
Of course, Mr. Wake. You can get there through the cell corridor. Just don't mind Walter in there. He's one of our regulars.
I thought he quit drinking for good.
Oh, no such luck. He went on a bender and beat Danny pretty badly. He started shouting like that the moment he woke up.
Yeah, it's Mulligan here. I'm at Stucky's gas station with Thornton. There's no sign of him. Over.
Wait. Yeah, this is Thornton. Look, we've located the brake float. It's here. That's some good news, right? Stucky was supposed to be driving it at the rehearsals today. Over.
Oh, give me that. Mulligan here. Looks like someone really thrashed the garage. Over.
Okay, roger that, guys. Keep looking for Stucky. Jane's out.
Alice looked through the viewfinder, lining up the shot. Cauldron Lake was breathtaking. Something caught her eye. A figure standing in the shadows behind the cabin, like a thin woman in a black dress. She lowered the camera and looked again. No one there. Just a collection of bushes that looked vaguely human-shaped. She shook her head and laughed.
Isn't it crazy? We got like 10 days till On Wake comes out. Hey, I'm reading here.
In spite of its human mask, to describe the dark presence as intelligent would have implied human qualities on something decidedly inhuman. Nonetheless, it found the one spot in the diner that was dark enough. Some light spilled into the corridor, ravaging it. But it took the pain. Horrible as it was, the writer would soon fix that. He would be coming to the one place where it still had power.
I don't actually know where the lights are. Oh. Yeah.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Hey, you're all right. You're a good guy. Don't let anybody tell you different.
I think you beat your son.
You know, I shouldn't even be in here. The cops, they got it all wrong. See?
Or he got into a fight at a bar. Let's just say he got into a fight at a bar. Makes it less,
I wasn't drunk at the time. I only got drunk afterward. Okay, listen. You gotta listen carefully now. Here's the kicker. That wasn't Danny. No, sir. It only looked like him. You wanna know who it really was? I'll tell you who it really was. It was a goddamn space alien! I know it sounds like something a drunk would say, but believe me, I wasn't drunk then.
Good talk. Oh, he's falling over.
The early morning light hurt my eyes and made my head ache. The man on the phone had said, "Go through the fence on the left."
I'm sure he didn't say go to the radio and get this thermos.
Well, folks, it's been another long night, and it's about time for me to sign off for a while.
Dog, how late were you? Is this shift like 12 hours?
Just one more item before I go. It's been a busy night for the sheriff's department. We've had a few broken windows, even a report of shots fired on Main Street. Deputies Mulligan and Thornton had to deal with two intoxicated young men who were celebrating the completion of their Deerfest float. Now, folks, we get this every year. I know it's exciting, the big day's almost here, but let's save it for the party and leave the gunplay for the shooting competition, huh? There's no point in getting all worked up yet.
Boy, That is a junker. Better head to bed, getting late. Oh, don't turn off the lights, though.
The caller had told me to find a hole in the fence behind the police station. There was something for me in an abandoned car.
Have a good one, pirate. I feel like I need to use that, but I guess. Oh.
Alice's driver's license had been placed on the front seat.
It's better than a finger.
The kidnapper fired his gun one last time, and the shadow vanished into the darkness it had come from. See? Nothing to it, Wake. The thought of Alice in his hands was revolting. We stood on the wooden platform of Lover's Peak, the waterfall on the mountain behind us, the lights of the radio mast blinking red in the heights above. I fought with the urge to take a swing, force myself to speak. Let's cut the act now. Where's my wife? Business.
Where indeed?
Barry?
Ow! Ow! Thank God! Where the hell have you been? I've been trying to reach you for a week, you and Alice. I've been worried sick. I flew out yesterday. I'm here in Bright Falls.
Barry, listen to me. I'm at the sheriff's station. Come and get me. I can't talk now.
Al, what the hell is going on?
I had to get the sheriff to let me go. I needed to get to Elderwood National
So it's been a
Park
week.
to meet Alice's
I don't know if they've
kidnappers.
stated that since then, but it's been a week since you fell in the lake. Which is disconcerting. I think one of the most effective methods of horror, or at least unnerving, is
A writer is a light that reveals the world of his story from darkness, shapes it from
like
nothing.
just this like loss of time, not remembering your own actions.
If I stop, the world I'm making dies. Darkness will reclaim it. It's a long, hard journey into the dark. Alice's life is at stake, but I can't think about that, or I'll lose it. The dread lingers at the edge of perception. I'll push on. Anything is possible here. I'll write the story. I'll save her.
Marvelous, Sarah. I just wanted to settle all the damage the Anderson brothers might have inadvertently caused on their recent and regrettable little outing. They are not accountable for their actions, of course. I can assure you that my staff has been reprimanded.
Tor and Odin never caused any trouble to anyone when they were still living at their farm.
Indeed. All we can do is to slow down the progress of their dementia.
Are you feeling any better, Mr. Wake?
I'd like to leave. Am I free to go?
Well, we still need to talk about...
Am I under arrest?
No, of course not. But I need to know where you'll be staying so I can get in touch with you.
I'd avoid the motel. The Majestic is known for its roaches. The cabins at Elderwood are pretty nice, though.
That sounds perfect.
I'm Dr. Emil Hartman. I'd like to invite you to stay at Cauldron Lake Lodge.
Did you talk to my wife?
I had the pleasure of discussing your situation with her on several occasions.
Did you set something up with her?
I invited her here. My clinic is a place where...
Oh, hey! Oh my! Take it easy.
Hey, nobody move! Get your hands off of my client!
Who are you?
I'm Barry Wheeler, his agent. If you have business with Mr. Wake, you talk to me. You yokels won't know what hit you once I sick my lawyers on your asses.
No harm done, Sarah. I'm all right. I don't want to press charges. Mr. Wake, my offer still stands.
Get me out of here.
What the hell was that about, Al? We don't need a replay of that thing with the paparazzi. I thought they were gonna lock you up.
I had to talk to someone. I told Barry everything. He thought I was certifiable, but when he heard about the manuscript, I had him. The fact that I'd written something, even if I couldn't remember it, was enough for him. He smelled money,
Marketability?
and he believed that Alice had been kidnapped. Anything beyond that was another story. I had a midnight appointment with the kidnapper in a place called Lover's Peak, somewhere in Elderwood National Park. The plan was to rent a cabin.
I don't like it, Al. I don't like any of it. It's not good. In fact, it's the absolute opposite of good.
Mr. Wake! Barry, you found him!
Hi, Rose.
Oh, wow, I was just thinking about you, too.
Great.
I was just bringing Rusty some coffee. He's on the balcony, looking after Max. Poor thing. I really need to go. Great to see you again, Mr. Wake. Later!
Who's Max?
What an airhead.
Jeez, Mr. Takes a swing at everybody. This is not her fault. She's a very
Bucktooth
nice
Charlie.
girl
There he
and,
is.
more importantly, a fan.
Alright, well. This has been good, but I think it's a perfect time to call it for tonight. So, we'll be back on Thursday with more Alan Wake. Continue our search for our wife. Dive deeper into the darkness, the lake. Or is it an ocean? I guess we'll see. But, hey, until next time, thanks so much for watching, everybody. If you like, leave a follow or just come back, hang out any other time you want. But until next time, appreciate everything